Afternoon, it was Ray defeating DeLax Burlington 78-69. So Ray will play the winner of Game 2, which was West Hope Newburgh over Watford City 60-49. That sets up a semifinal meeting between the number 1 seed from District 15 and the number 2 seed coming. Jeff Cattell. And Jeff, you happen to see those games this afternoon. Give us a little insight into what happened.
Well, I tell you what, Tony, Ray came into town and shot 66%, and that was the big thing that happened to DeLax Burlington. And besides that, played real good defense, held Shane Carr off, I think, to 10 points, and 5 of those were real late in the ball game. But they just, somebody said to me, if I could bring a team in here and shoot 66%, I'll win a lot of ball games. And in the second matchup today, West Hope Newburgh, I think, just showed the dominance that they've showed all year long. They cleaned the boards off, rebounded real well, played some sticky defense, and held Guy Fridley to 2 points in the second half. And really en route, all year I've watched them a few games. They get up by 10, 15 points, and they just keep it right there, and nobody really can get any control on them. So,
as you said, they played West Hope basketball.
West Hope basketball straight through, I think.
Yeah, that was assessment from Jeff Cattell on the 2 games this afternoon. Our game this evening will feature the number 1 team coming out of District 16. That, of course, the Trenton Tigers coming in at 16-6 under head coach Todd Matthews, going against Sawyer at 16-8. They survived the challenge game against Sherwood on Monday night, 57-49, winning by 9 points. And they are coming in under Brian Kramer, as I said, 16-8. Both teams match up record-wise real well. I think that if you look at anything, it's the speed of Trenton and the height as opposed to Trenton for the Sawyer Flashers.
Yeah, this will probably be, Tony, the first time all year that Sawyer goes into a game and has a height advantage or has a matchup advantage down in the post positions. They haven't had that all year. Trenton, you look at them, 6'2" is the tallest guy they got. A 9th grader. So they're going to have a distinct height advantage. They've got some good speed over on the Sawyer side, so they play man-to-man defense. They'll play it all over the court. They don't gimmick it with any zones or anything, so it'll be an interesting evening, I think.
Well, we're going to take a 60-second break, and we'll be back to talk to Coach Todd Matthews of the Trenton Tigers after this timeout.
With springtime on its way, you need to get your farm equipment ready for the work ahead. At Farmers Union Oil in West Hope, they have farm supplies, batteries, quality Cenex gasoline and oil products, and they have a mechanic on hand for shop work. Farmers Union Oil in West Hope accepts major credit cards, and the card trail is open 24 hours. And for tasty subs, pizza, and friendly atmosphere, stop by the Cenex General Store in Botno. Farmers Union Oil in West Hope and the Cenex General Store in Botno, partners you can trust.
The Gateway Lounge in West Hope has some great deals this Friday and Saturday night. A superb prime rib special including super salad, potato and roll, the sampler $7.95, the queen $9.95, and the king $13.95. The Gateway Lounge offers different lunch specials every day. This week's Sunday buffet features roast pork and deep fried chicken. The Gateway Lounge is open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. And the Gateway Restaurant opens Sundays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Come join the fun and great deals at the Gateway Lounge and Restaurant located in downtown West Hope.
Spring is in the air, and that means just one thing, planting. And that means getting the seeds you need. Souris River Grain Cooperative in Rousseau, Newburgh, Antler, Kramer, and Lansford.
Tigers out of District 16 will be Justin Slater. He's a 5'8" point guard, averaging nearly 17 points a game, so they're going to really have to watch him, Jeff.
Yeah, I think that, Matt Johnson's got a little bit of a thigh problem. It'll be interesting which one matches up, how they match up, but they've got some guys that have played some sticky defense, so I think it's just a pick and choose when I look at who scores points there. But if Matt's healthy enough, he's probably drawing him tonight.
Okay, Adam Ryder is the other guard, the 2 guard. He's 5'11", averaging nearly 8 points a game. Chad Hutchinson, 5'11", number 3 man, averaging 16.8 a game, almost 17 once again. And then Brian Olson, number 30, is a sophomore, and he is averaging 10 points a game. Brad Russell, who is a 6-footer, the height of their lineup here, the 6-footer, averaging 10.4 points a game. You'll see John Slater, Ledoux, and Zimmerman coming off the bench in a regular rotation for Coach Todd Matthews and his Trenton Tigers. Now we step over to the other side, and we know that Eric Kataska is a good point guard. He's performed well all year long for the Sawyer Flashes.
Yeah, and he's been one, Tony, that when Matt Johnson struggled midway through the year with some of his shooting, particularly a season game against Glenburn, he stepped it up and made some big shots. And if he gets hot, he can be a streaky shooter and really knock down some points for you.
Matt Johnson will be the number 2 guard. He's a 5'11" senior. David McQueen also can shoot real well. Will be the number 3 man at 5'10". And then we have the Schmidt boys. Neal, who has really picked up some of the scoring slack. He is a 6'2" senior. And then Della Schmidt will be in the center spot. So they don't match up real well height-wise, but I think we're going to see a lot of scoring in this game, unless both teams just button down the hatches and say we're going to play defense.
Well, that's something that can happen, but you look at where it is. I think they're going to come out and want to score, want to get going quickly, and you want to get out of the blocks early. Sawyer, the last 3 or 4 games, and I know if you ask Brian Kramer and Eric Tice, the assistant coach, they always feel like they don't get started real quick. They get a little trouble getting out of the blocks, and I'm sure tonight they'd like them out of the blocks real fast.
Well, they finished real big in the challenge game, getting the last 9 points there to earn a spot in this regional tournament. And, you know, Brian's team started out well. Some people said they had a real light schedule, a weaker schedule in the beginning of the year. They kind of plateaued, and they really came on strong at the end of the year. And I think that's, some credit to he and Tice, what they did with these kids at the end of the year.
They've brought some kids along a long way. They've got a young sophomore by the name of Chad Schlachter that we'll see off the bench tonight. That he's still learning the basketball game at this level, but they've brought him along real slow. They didn't throw him into the fire early, and he's put in some really good minutes over the last week and a half, and minutes that they needed. So, they've done a real
basketball tournament. And now your starting lineups. First up, the visitors on your score block, the Sawyer Flashes. Starting at guard, a 5'10" sophomore wearing jersey number 13, David McQueen. At guard, a 5'9" senior wearing jersey number 35, Eric Koteska. At forward, a 5'11" senior wearing jersey number 25, Matt Johnson. At forward, a 6'2" senior wearing jersey number 33, Neal Schmidt. And starting at senior, a 6'2" junior wearing jersey number 21, Della Schmidt. Assistant coach Eric Tice, as well as head coach Brian Kramer.
Danny?
And now the home team on your score block, the Trenton Tigers.
Go Tigers!
Starting at guard, a 5'11" senior wearing jersey number 32, Byron Rider. At guard, a 5'8" senior wearing jersey number 34, Justin Slater.
Go Tigers!
5'9" junior wearing jersey number 30, Brian Olsen. At forward, a 5'9" senior wearing jersey number 22, Chad Hutchins. And starting in at center, a 6-foot junior wearing jersey number 44, Brad Russell.
They're going to get a chance to go to the state tournament.
Yeah, they're going to get a chance to go to the state tournament. The Minot Magicians will be there along with Bismarck and Williston.
Right.
Bismarck and Williston, they won loser-off games this afternoon. Well, with B tournament held later this month in, of course, Bismarck. Referees for tonight's games are Dave Winger and Ron Doctor, both out of Tioga. And we are just about ready to start as the Tigers come out and the Flashers come out, shaking hands all around. And we'll be ready for that center jump in just moments from now. Stepping into the center jump circle will be Chad Hutchins going up against Neal Schmidt. We're ready. Here it is. It's controlled by Trenton. Getting it for Trenton is Ryder. Ryder gives it off to the point guard Slater. He brings it across midcourt down the right side. On the wing to Olsen. Olsen looking inside to Russell. Russell goes in on the right baseline, lays it up. The basket is good. Then there is a foul. Well, that happened real quick.
They called the basket off, Tony. They waved it off, gave him a fallout blocking before he got to the shot.
Before the shot occurred. Inbounds to Slater. Slater works it down in the corner to Hutchins. Hutchins moves into the paint on the dribble, puts a shot up. It's good. Hutchins draws first blood as the Tigers go on top 2-0. Quickly down court. Kataska out front, looking for Johnson on the right side. Johnson has it now, looking to the inside, goes off to McQueen. McQueen rotates it left to Kataska underneath to Johnson. He's going to lay it up. It's good as he came from left to right, getting 3 underneath and gets the basket rather quickly.
Yeah, they run that little double pick down there and like to get the guards or the wingman off on an open shot.
There's Slater coming down court trying to move in, and he is called for a charge as he moves down the right side of the lane, and he picks up his first personal foul, and he showed a great deal of quickness on that as he hit the midcourt line and just went down the right side of the lane.
Yeah, the last one they made down there too, they made a real quick step just to start off, so they got some speed.
Kataska to Johnson on the right wing. Johnson looking for McQueen out front. They rotate it left, and now they're going to try that same play, but this time they can't get it to Johnson down low. Out front they go to Schmidt. They work it over to McQueen on the right side. He comes back out front to Johnson. They rotate it to Schmidt. Schmidt on the left wing now holds it above his head. He thinks about it, fakes a shot, then goes up with the 3, and it's good.
That's the one thing, Tony. They got to come out and get into his face because he can make a lot of those if you give him that shot.
Neil Schmidt gets the 3, giving Sawyer a 5-2 lead right out of the blocks here. Now quickly down court, left side. Olsen tries to move it in, drops it off inside for Hutchins. Hutchins' turnaround jumper is up. It's no good, but he is fouled. He'll shoot 2. Getting the foul for Sawyer will be
Neil
Schmidt, number 33. That'll be his first foul of the game. And going to the line will be Chad Hutchins, 5'11", averaging 16.8 points a game. He has the 2 points on the board for Trenton. His shot rolls off the right side, spins off to the left. Gets ready for his second. And it's short also. Rebound comes down to Schmidt. That's the other Schmidt. Dellis. He gets it ahead to Johnson. Johnson has it stolen as he comes down court. It's kicked around, going after the loose ball as it rolls across midcourt. And we've got a jump ball call as Slater picks it up. And getting on him is Dellis. Schmidt, and they got a jump ball.
The ball was rolling around. A pretty good call by the referees to stop action and get that jump ball because somebody could get hurt the way their bodies were flying around there.
Well, the possession arrow was in favor of the Flashes, and Kataska brings it across the midcourt. Left side out front to McQueen, to Johnson at the top of the key. They rotate it to Kataska left wing. Kataska looking inside, comes out front to Della Schmidt. Della Schmidt takes one dribble, then gives off to Johnson. Johnson holds it above his head. Defense looks like they're playing a man-to-man, right, Jeff?
Yeah, both of them have gone man-to-man, and they're just playing them straight up.
Here's Dellis. Schmidt back out front now to Kataska, the point guard. He runs things offensively for Brian Kramer. Off to Johnson on the left side. They work it underneath to a cutting Kataska. His reverse layup, no good. Rebound comes down to Olsen, but that was a good play and a good pass. Quickly down court, bounce pass from Slater to Olsen. He lays it up and in, and Olsen gets the second basket, makes the score 5-4, and running the other way. Here comes Johnson. He moves into the paint. Slater comes in from the backside and slaps the ball away, and it goes out of bounds off of Matt Johnson's heel, they say.
Yeah, and right now the referees have got to pick it up their pace up a little bit because they both got caught in backcourt on that one, but these two teams are going to go up and down the court the way it looks like.
Certainly are. Here it is. Coming down the side is Hutchins on the left side. Works it down low to Olsen. He'll take the jumper from the left side. And we've got a quick whistle as the ball is knocked out of bounds by one of the Tigers, and it'll be turned over to Sawyer.
You got a fall call there,
yeah,
Tony. Hutchins, they got him on a push on Neil Schmidt underneath. So
yep, battling for that position on the rebounds, and you picked that one up real quick. Number 22, that is Hutchins, getting his first foul of the night. 5-4 the score here. 5:09 left to play in the first. Kataska across midcourt, calling for play number 2. Johnson, left side wing. Out front he goes to Schmidt. Schmidt down to Kataska, left side inside to Johnson, left baseline, jumper short, a rebound down to Olsen. Olsen brings it down the court on the dribble across midcourt. Off on the left side to Hutchins. He goes off the glass from 8 foot. It's good. Hutchins has 4, and right away Trenton jumps on top 6-5. Kataska dribbling down the left sideline now. On him is Slater. He pulls up, gets it inside to Della Schmidt. His shot is off the front of the rim. Ryder comes down with that rebound. Bounce pass off to Slater, and Slater will bring it down court for the Tigers to Olsen on the right wing. Looks inside to, that is Russell. Brian Russell gets a little jumper for 2 points. He hadn't been involved in the offense yet. I didn't even know who he was, but we got it figured out. It's 8-5. Sawyer's McQueen works it to Schmidt, cutting into the paint. Slater slaps it away, and we've got a 2-on-1 break. Slater gives off to Olson. Olson lays it up from the left side, and quickly the Tigers have jumped out to a 10-5 lead. This is a 7-point run right here for Sawyer.
That's right, Tony, and they got very quick hands. Boy, you put the ball down in the middle, and somebody's right there to steal it.
10-5 with 3:46 left in the first. Sawyer out front. Johnson, he's going to pop that three. It's off the front of the iron. Comes down to McQueen. He lays it up and in from the right side.
That's the first offensive rebound, I think, for Sawyer, and Trenton had done a real good job up to that point of blocking out and getting the boards.
10-7 the score right now. We're down under 3.5. Out front, Rider works it right side to Hutchins. Hutchins on the wing, thinks about a three. Goes around on the dribble, lays it up from the baseline, and it's good. He got right around the defensive man there. That was Neil Schmidt. Down court, McQueen gets the pass, gives it off to Kataska out front. Kataska on the dribble, goes to McQueen on the left wing. Rider on him. McQueen looking to go inside, can't find anybody, goes to the dribble, comes to the top of the key, goes left now to Johnson. Johnson guarded by Olson, works it underneath to Schmidt. Schmidt gets a good move and lays it up.
That's the one thing about Matt Johnson a lot of people overlook, but he can really find the open man. He's got good vision of the court, and he fired that pass into the middle there.
12-9 the score. We're under 3 at 2:45. It's Hutchins working down low to Russell. Russell goes to the dribble, spins around. Della Schmidt lays it up. It's no good. There's a foul inside on the rebounding attempt, and it will be against Schmidt. That is Della Schmidt, his first, and it'll be a 2-shot foul since they say he was on the tip-up.
That's the second fall.
Oh, it's a second. Who did they gave the other one to Neil, I thought, but they Dallas, huh? Okay.
Dallas got, I think Neil's got one and Dallas has got two now.
They've only got 2 team fouls. Oh, they got 3. You're right. Did he make that?
Yep.
Good. Not good that he made it, but good that you saw it. And Olson puts the second one up. It is also good. Trenton jumps out 14-9. They're up by 5. Here comes Kataska across midcourt, wearing the purple and white of the Flashes. Pulls over on the left side. Slater reaches in, tries to steal, can't. He works it down low to Schmidt. Schmidt makes a spin move, goes off the baseline. It's a left-handed move, or right-handed move, excuse me, off the baseline. No, that's left.
That's the match.
And makes
that's
the basket.
Match we talked about, Tony, and I just don't think they can handle Neil down there if he gets the ball in the low post.
14-11. Slater goes underneath amongst all the timber, the little point guard, and he is fouled as he lays it up. The basket is not good, and he will shoot a pair.
That's Dallas Schmidt's third fall, I believe, and Chad Schlosser checks into the game right away.
Yep, it is, and Schlosser, as you said, checks in. That's Chad Schlosser, and he's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore, yeah, Tony, and he's coming along, a young kid that just gaining some experience.
Slater makes his first point of the game. He's averaging 16. That's Justin Slater, a 5'8" senior guard, averaging 16.6. 15-11 the score. He makes his second. 17-11, a 6-point lead. Kataska gets the inbounds. And quickly down court comes Kataska. Right side to Johnson. He has it slapped away by Olson. Gets it back. Goes to McQueen. McQueen works it left to Kataska. He's going to put up a 2-pointer from about 18. It's no good. But inside, Schlosser, the kid just into the game, gets a rebound and puts it back up and scores for Sawyer. 17-13. We're down to a minute 45. A Rider to Olson. Olson works it inside, intended for Russell. It's tapped away, and we've got a foul called inside, and I think Schlosser gets the call.
Right now, the way the game's being refereed and how things are going is they're not allowing very much rough play or any kind of body contact down in the post position, and it's been to the disadvantage of Sawyer Flashers.
Hutchins inbounds to Slater. He works it out front to Rider. Back on the left side to Hutchins. He thinks about a three, then dribbles to the paint, dishes off to Rider out at the top of the key. They go right to Olson on the wing to a cutting Rider. He lays it up and in. That's a good give-and-go play.
Yep, you just turn your back on these guys and they're by you, so they've got to keep their head in the game.
Quickly down court comes Sawyer, and there's a foul as McQueen moves into the paint. And McQueen is fouled. Getting that foul is number 32, Adam Rider. That'll be his first and the team's third foul. 5 team fouls on Sawyer. Inbounds. Johnson gets it, left wing, jumper up, no good. Slater pulls that rebound down out front at the free throw line, comes down court, had a man down there, but couldn't work it to him. Goes down the left side of the paint, goes high, lays it up off the glass, and he scores, making the score 21-13. Kataska across midcourt. Slater harassing him, pulls to the right side, goes to the baseline, gets double teamed, has the ball tipped away, comes back out on the dribble, gets trapped in the corner, goes cross court to Johnson, underneath to Schmidt. He goes to lay it up. It's partially blocked, but on the rebound, we've got a call. It'll be number 22, Hutchins, getting the foul, and that'll be his second. They do not want to get him in foul trouble, Jeff.
2-4 they called that on. I wanted
2-4, okay.
Or 5-4, excuse me.
Right, they called it on 54. That's Ledoux. Inbounds. Schlosser out to Johnson. His three-pointer up, no good. A good boxing out as Ledoux does it and gets the rebound for the Tigers. He gives off to Slater, and Slater will bring it down. The Tigers up by 8 at 21-13. Slater's going to play it down slow out front and work for a last shot. Gives it off to Rider out front on the left side. Rider holds the ball above his head, then gives it off on the wing to Olson. Olson back out front to Slater. Slater's holding it. We're down to 20 seconds. Hutchins out front on the far sideline, goes to the dribble now. He gets around his man, drops it underneath and for Ledoux, and Ledoux is called for the travel as he starts to put it up, and that'll be one of the first real major turnovers on the part of the Tigers. We're down to 13 seconds left in the first quarter. 21-13 the score. Kataska to McQueen out front. McQueen down to 4. Got to get some offense. Collides with Johnson. Johnson's going to pop from way out, and it is short. And a little disorganization there at the end of that period for Sawyer. And they are down 21-13 at the end of one. We will be back in 60 seconds. 0 for the Flashes, so they are taking care of the ball, and they were worried about that. Inbounds, Olson gets it into Rider. Rider goes down the right side of the paint, then gets double teamed, gives out front to Chad Hutchins. He has it slipped away, and Olson picks it up out on the right wing. Out front they go to Rider. Rider holds it above his head. McQueen on him, finds Olson loose on the left wing to a cutting Hutchins at the free throw line. On him is Schmidt. They're trying to move it down low. They do to Ledoux. He works against the sophomore Schlosser and is fouled as he puts up a shot.
There's a situation, young sophomore makes a mistake, leaves his feet, and the kid jumps right into him. Just got to learn. He's got more size. Just stay on your feet, make him commit, and then you'll have a chance. You can't block everything, and that's sometimes hard to teach those kids.
Yeah, and he's like you said, a lot taller. He has to shoot over him, and he's got a good long reach. This sophomore does. He's going to be a good ball player before it's all over. From the looks of it, shot up by Ledoux, no good. He'll have one more. Score is 20-13. They had 21 up at the end of the period. 20-13. And he makes the second one, and that does make it 21-13. Sawyer across midcourt to Johnson on the right wing. Looks out front. He goes off to Schlosser. On the wing now to Kataska, all alone at the 18-foot mark. It's good. Eric Kataska gets his first basket of the game, making the score 21-15, and Sawyer has cut it to just a 6-point lead. Slater works it down low for Olson. He goes off the glass. It's no good. A rebound comes down to Schmidt. He gets it off to Kataska. Kataska across midcourt, down low, intended for Schlosser. He gets it, drops it off for Johnson. Caught Johnson by surprise there, and they're going to call it a, what did they call it, a travel?
3 seconds on Schlosser going down in the lane, and that's one you don't see that call very much when you got some activity going on, but I don't know, the ball's loose, it's up in the air, it was up for grabs, but it's a turnover for Sawyer, and
that's their first of the game.
There's another, probably a sophomore mistake. He should have shot it up there right away when he made the spin move, and Carl Sutter's in the game now for Sawyer.
Yep, big Carl Sutter, number 55, in for Sawyer. Out on the wing, Hutchins for the Tigers works it down low for Russell. He backs in on the left side and lays it in. Russell gets his 4th point of the game, and it's 23-15 after that turnover by the Flashes. McQueen out on the right side, left side, comes out front to Johnson. Johnson at the top of the key, guarded by Olson. Goes to the dribble and comes to the right side. Olson sticks with him as both teams playing man-to-man. Works a cross-court pass to Kataska out front to McQueen. McQueen moves into the paint, dishes off down low on the right side to Eric Schmidt. His little jumper is good, and he is fouled by Ledoux.
And Ledoux got him out there shooting it up, and then he's trying to box him out. But so that's going to be probably, if Neil can convert this, the old-fashioned three-point play.
Yep, Neil Schmidt has 9 points in the game. This could put him in double figures rather early. It's good. Neil Schmidt has 10, and we are 6:15 remaining in the first half. We're in the second period of play from the Region 8 tournament. You're listening to KCJB. Slater out front for the Tigers now. On the dribble, moves into the paint, down the right side of the lane, puts up a little jumper that's short, tipped around. Sutter can't control it. It's on the floor. We've got guys fighting for it, and a jump ball is called by the official on the scene. And the possession arrow is in favor of the Flashes once again. So Sawyer will have possession and a chance to cut the 5-point lead down to just 3 or less. 23-18 with 5:45 left to play. Kotaska to a high post to Schmidt. Schmidt goes to the dribble down the left side of the paint. He'll put the little jumper up. It skips across the iron. The rebound is down to Russell. Russell gives it off to Slater, and Slater quickly down court into the paint. Goes up with a shot, and it's ripped out of his hands by Johnson at the free throw line. Johnson gives it off to Kotaska. Kotaska to McQueen on the left side. He goes down on the wing, drops it inside for Schmidt. Schmidt's turnaround move as he goes to the left away from the baseline is good. And it is 23-20 now.
And I think Sawyer's just going to continue to go down there until they find a way to stop Schmidt. There's just no way they can handle him down there in the blocks.
Hutchins on the right side, goes to the dribble, tries to move into the paint, dishes down low to Ledoux. His free throw is no good, but he's called for a travel. Not his free throw, his layup. But he's called for a travel before the shot is up. And we have a new player coming in the game, number 50, John Slater, coming in to replace Ledoux for the Tigers. They're going to try a variety of guys down inside to see if they can stop Schmidt. Here's Kotaska across midcourt, off on the left side of McQueen, who dribbles to the wing, and he's going to put up a three-pointer. It skips off the iron, tipped away. Russell saves it, but right into the hands of McQueen. McQueen works it to Sutter, out front to McQueen, and then to Kotaska on the right side. They give it off to Johnson at the top of the key. He goes to McQueen on the left wing. McQueen on the dribble, comes out front to Eric Kotaska. Down low inside to Johnson. Johnson working against Olson. Dishes out to McQueen. McQueen goes to the dribble, off to Sutter. Sutter moves into the paint, puts a jumper off the glass. It's no good. Fight for the rebound, and Slater comes down for it. He gives off to the other Slater, Justin Slater, and Slater brings it down court. Out front to Chad Hutchins. He moves into the paint, goes for a jump stop, but there's a pushing call inside as he moved into the paint. That will be the 7th team foul. And so we'll go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
David McQueen created that foul, but we had a good offensive series down there, and then he ended up not getting a very good shot. Got the ball off, and Carl Sutter just didn't get squared up and make that shot for Sawyer.
4:14 left to play, and going to the line is Hutchins to shoot a 1-and-1. His first one is in and out, no good. So Hutchins now is 0 for 3 at the free throw line. A rebound down to Sawyer. Kotaska has it. He'll bring it across midcourt ahead to Schmidt. Neil Schmidt on the left wing, on the dribble, gets a pick from McQueen, goes to the corner, puts a shot up, it's in and out, no good, tipped around a little. Justin Slater comes down with a rebound for Trenton. He moves it down court, pulls up at the free throw line, jumper, skips across and falls off the left side. We've got a fight for the rebound, and inside the foul is called on John Slater. John Slater, a 5'11" postman, just into the game moments ago, has picked up his first foul. That is the 6th team foul on the Tigers. 3:51 left to play here in the first half of action. Kotaska, harassed by Slater, comes down, falls down. Should have been called for the travel. Hey, and the guy finally did call for the travel.
He originally went down, and they let him go on the first shot, but they got him a little later. You can't be rolling around on the ground there.
So the turnover, and there's a tip away by Johnson on the inbounds pass, but Justin Slater comes up with it, and he'll bring it down court. Crafty little guard gives it off to Hutchin on the wing. Out front they go to Russell. Now they rotated to Olson on the left side, down low to Hutchins. Back out to Russell, out front to Slater as they move the ball. Good ball movement on the part of the Tigers this offensive series. Off to Russell on the left wing. He's going to put up a three. It skips off the back of the rim. A rebound comes down to Big Sutter. Sutter gives it off to Johnson for the Flashes. And the score is 23-20. And right now the Tigers are in a dry spell, much as the Flashes were in the first period.
Come on, Matt.
As the Flashes have closed to within 3. Kotaska left wing out front to McQueen. McQueen off to Johnson on the right side. Johnson looking inside. We got some pushing and shoving down low, and they're going to call that one on Neil Schmidt. They say he pushed off on number 44. That is Big Brad Russell, the meat of the postmen for Trenton, the 6-foot and the only 6-footer they have in the game.
Yeah, you don't want to be picking on the referees and thinking, but Neil's just down there trying to get some position, and sometimes I think maybe the referees look at this smaller team and we're not going to let these guys push them around quite as much, but that's a pretty tough call to be calling in high school basketball.
And for Neil Schmidt, that is his second foul. Shot up by Russell is good. Brad Russell with 5 in the game so far. We'll have a second since it was a one-on-one situation. Haven't put the team foul up there yet, but that is their 7th. And that is a good free throw, and that makes the score 25-20, just as Sawyer had closed it within 3. Now Trenton has opened it up to 5. Kataska on the right wing. Out front to McQueen. McQueen guarded by Rider. We got a push 3-second violation on the Flashes. So a turnover on the part of the team from Sawyer. And the Trenton Tigers will be on the offense once again. The referee's watching that lane probably closer than I've seen them all year.
That's more 3-second calls than I've seen the whole entire high school basketball season, Tony.
Here comes Olson on the dribble, almost loses it, gets it out front, and now to Russell, now back to Olson on the left wing. He goes cross court to Rider. Rider, right side, thinks about a 3, goes to the floor on the dribble, dishes off inside. No, he keeps it himself, puts a shot up, no good, and we've got bodies everywhere as they were trying to get position for the rebound. We've got a foul inside. We'll have to wait and see who that one is on. Olson picks that up. That'll be his first, and we'll walk to the other end, and going to the line will be McQueen, who was knocked to the tartan surface here in the dome on that rebounding attempt.
Yeah, Brian Olson came from a long way that one, trying to get the rebound, came over the back, kind of caused a whole big collision down in there underneath the basket.
2:21 left to play in the first half as McQueen shoots his first free throw of the night, and he misses that one. It's a real brick off the back of the rim. A rebound down to Trenton, and Rider coming down the floor, dribbling, gets run into from behind by Matt Johnson, and Johnson is called for the foul. That'll be his first.
We got a timeout by Sawyer.
Timeout called by Sawyer as they were really playing well. We'll keep it right here and talk about what they were doing. They had cut it down by working down low on the post to 3 points after being down 7 at a halftime. And all of a sudden, a couple of calls went against them, and Trenton's back up to a 5-point lead.
That's right, Tony. And I think that the coaching staff over there now just wants to get him in, get it settled down, get back to what was working. They can't handle Neil Schmidt down low, and let's get the ball down there and get him posted up, get the ball to him. Trenton just wants to keep what they're doing. They're controlling the tempo. They're keeping it going up and down the court, and they're doing a real fine job on the defensive end as far as getting rebounds and blocking out.
Well, the little Slater kid seems to be a pretty good little point guard. He's a little out of control sometimes, but it looks like, as he would mature, he could be a pretty good point guard somewhere.
They play, they all handle the ball real well. That's kind of the nice thing here. The interchange, you can't hardly tell which one's which sometimes out there. The interchange all handle the ball and slash and go to the basket real well.
We will go to the line. It'll be Rider. He'll shoot a 1-and-1. Rider has 1 basket in the game so far, 2 points. 25-20, Trenton on top of Sawyer. Ryder puts the shot up high, arch. It's good. Adam Ryder will get ready for his second, gives his team a 6-point lead. Could make it 7. Adam gets ready and puts it up. It looks like it's going to go off the side. Almost gets a roll, the bounce. Doesn't get it. The rebound is down to Sutter. Sutter for the Sawyer Flashes. Gives it off to Kataska. Kataska to McQueen on the left side. Out front to Kataska. Back to McQueen. McQueen on the dribble. Out front to Johnson. Guarded by Olson. Down low, they work it inside to McQueen. He gets the easy bunny on the right side as he came in from the back door and laid it up.
They've run that back door coming off that double pick 2 or 3 times and got some easy baskets off it.
26-22, a 4-point lead for the Tigers as Hutchins backs it out on the right side. Comes out front to Justin Slater. Justin Slater works it to Hutchins on the left wing. Hutchins out front to Olson. Olson to Adam. I want to say Adam Ryder. That's who it is. Over to Slater. Slater goes down the left side. Jumper no good. Rebound right into the hands of Sutter. He's pulled out about 4 rebounds. Quickly down court. They go to Matt Johnson. He lays it up and in.
Nice ball moving. Hung in the air a little while. Gave him a little pump and got it in.
And we have a 2-point game at 26-24 as the Flashes are making a run. Here's Slater into the paint, dishes out to Hutchins. His three-point no good. Tip around, controlled by Sutter. Sutter gets it off to Matt Johnson on a good save before he went out of bounds. He gets it down court to Kataska. Kataska inside to Schmidt. He makes a move to the right. Shot no good, but McQueen puts it back up and in and is fouled.
Ooh, little David McQueen, 5'11", I believe they list him at, or 5'10". He's had a couple big offensive rebounds and putbacks. I think he's got 6 or 8 points down there. Just getting the ball and putting it back up.
That's right, and we're tied at 26. He'll have a chance to put Sawyer on top since the first minute of play here when they jumped out real quick, 5-2. McQueen puts a shot up. It's a little strong. A rebound comes down to Russell. Russell gets it off to Slater. We're under a minute and 50 seconds, and we're tied at 26 apiece. Slater, Justin goes to Olson on the right wing. He works it to a cutting Adam Ryder. Inside they go, and we've got a reach over as they tried to work it inside to Russell, and going over the back is Sutter. Carl Sutter, who's played very well rebounding here for the Sawyer Flashes, picks up his first personal foul, and that's the 10th team foul, so they'll shoot 2. Shot up by Russell is good, and he is perfect from the line, 3 for 3. Gets ready for his second. It rolls around, no good. Tipped out by Sutter and into the hands of McQueen.
Right now, Sawyer's getting the breaks where Trenton was picking the loose balls up. Sawyer's getting them now.
McQueen has it on the left side out front to Johnson. We're down to 28 seconds. The score 27-26 in the first half. Sawyer down by 1 to Trenton out front to Sutter. He works it left to Johnson on the wing. Olson on him. He cuts it out front to McQueen. We're down to 14. McQueen on the dribble, goes down the left side, gets a pick from Neil Schmidt. Gets stopped, and we've got a foul inside and a travel call. A travel call as McQueen lost it. I thought that maybe Ryder had touched that ball.
I thought he had too, but the referee was right there and said he didn't.
Inbounds pass, 5 seconds left. Hutchins gets it cross court. McQueen intercepts. McQueen comes down, puts a shot up from 3-point range. It's off the glass, but no good. So at halftime, the score is 27-26 in favor of the Trenton Tigers. We will be back in 2 minutes to take a look at the statistics and visit with our halftime guest.
If you're moving to the country or considering refinancing, talk to Farm Credit Services. We've helped 4 generations call the country their home. And you don't have to be a farmer to benefit from our financial expertise and competitive interest rates. We offer unique home mortgage options designed for people living in rural America.
At the heart of a growing...
Back, this Trenton team is not, you would thought this is a typical little short, small team that they're going to stand behind that 3-point arc. And hey, they only attempted three-point shots, didn't make one of them. They slash and cut to the basketball and aren't afraid to go down inside against the Sawyer big guys.
That certainly is true. Well, there you have it, our halftime guest and the statistics from the first half. We'll be back in 90 seconds with the start of the second half.
Quality, access, value. With these 3 building blocks, Heart of America
Construction. Free estimates, radio dispatch trucks for fast service, and computer and telephone wiring. So look into your electric construction company. Serving the Minot area for over 35 years, the main man, Main Electric. Industrial, commercial, residential, or farm, bonded and insured. Call 852-3315 or stop by 501 8th Street Northeast in Minot. Main Electric.
When you're doing any building or road work, you start from the ground up. Success depends upon the quality of the materials you're using. Delac Sand and Gravel has been delivering quality service and materials to their area for years. And they congratulate the spirit and dedication of the Delac Burlington Lakers. The foundation of this team is strong. And special thanks to all the players for combining their skills into such an impressive team. Good luck, Lakers, from Delac Sand and Gravel.
We are about ready to start the second half of action here as the cheerleaders are doing their thing. Both teams are back out on the floor right now doing their warm-ups. Brian Johnson has to be pleased. His team down by only 1 here, 20.
Closer than they're used to getting called, and a little bit of fall trouble. I know I heard Brian come by here and say that Carl Sutter is going to start the second half in place of Dallas Schmidt. So Carl earned his way out there, played a pretty good second quarter when he got the time.
Yeah, he did. He certainly did, because he was pulling down some rebounds. He didn't get in the scoring column to speak of, but he pulled down 5 rebounds on the defensive boards. So here comes the Tigers as we start the second half. They're on the offense. Slater bounce pass inside, ripped away by Sutter. We were just talking about his rebounding. He gets in the passing lane and steals one, and we have a turnover right away for the Tigers. Kataska out front to McQueen. McQueen works it to Sutter, who will not be an offensive threat unless he's down low. He's on the wing now. Out front, bounce pass to Schmidt. Schmidt goes to the dribble, into the paint, goes to the glass, off the glass, and he's called for the charge. Basket no good, and Schmidt picks up his 3rd personal foul.
Yeah, that's a tough break on Neil Schmidt. You know, he gets up in the air, and they said the guy had got position underneath the basket. Pretty tough fall, and now he's got to be careful. He can't pick up his 4th and be sitting on the bench.
27-26. We played a half minute. Slater on the right side. Olsen wing. We've got to push underneath. A hold, and it'll be against this one, against the Tigers. So they'll turn the ball over, and this one is on Russell.
Well, I guess turnabout's fair play. They got Neil Schmidt earlier in the game on that offensive hold, and now they turn around and get Trenton. It's not a call you see very often where the offensive guy gets called.
That is his first foul, and there's one team foul apiece. Quickly down court, Kataska, right side, baseline jumper, good.
And I think that Sawyer just thought that they could start getting to the basket, going at the basket a little bit more, and they've started that in the second half.
The Tigers work it inside. Olsen has it, dishes off to Hutchins. He lays it up and in, and they jump back on top by 1 at 29-28. Quickly down court, there's McQueen with a layup. It's not good, but he is fouled as he takes the left baseline. So McQueen will go to the line to shoot a pair. And
Brad Russell picks up his second quick ball here in the second half.
Yep, he certainly does. Played the first half without any, and now McQueen will go to the line. He's throwing up a couple of bricks earlier on. Let's see if he's got his shooting eye. Puts it up, and this one bounces off the front of the rim, goes to the back, and then off the glass.
That was a little bit better than the last one, but he was trying to use body English to get it up there, Tony, and he's just got to relax and throw it up there like he can.
Yeah, he hasn't shown us anything from the free throw line. This time he does and ties his team up. He has 7 points now. We're tied at 29. Slater for Trenton. Left side to Olsen. Olsen cross court for Big Russell. His shot up off the glass, no good. Rebound down to Olsen. His shot is blocked by Johnson. He gets a loose ball back, sends it out front to Slater. Slater's shot from 3-point range off the glass down to McQueen.
And McQueen pulled on 4 rebounds. There's another one.
Here's Johnson, left side or right side jumper, 3-point range. It is no good, but it's knocked out of bounds off of one of the hands of the Tigers. So Sawyer will retain possession. Good crowd on hand here. Biggest crowd I've seen in here all year. Here is Sawyer inbounding out front to Kataska. Kataska will go to the dribble against Slater. Comes left to McQueen on the wing. McQueen looks inside to Schmidt. Schmidt makes the move to the left, puts a jumper up from 4. It's good.
They just get some spacing over there, and that one's there all night long, Tony.
31-29. The Flashers up by 2. Rider bringing the ball down court for the Tigers. Dribbles to the right wing. Pulls up. Looks to go down lower on the right side to Olsen. Out front, they now go to Hutchins. He dribbles into the paint. Pitches back out to Slater. Slater comes right to Olsen on the wing. He bounces down low to Rider. Rider on the baseline, guarded by McQueen. Trapped now, got to get rid of it. He's only got another second or so left. Dishes off to Hutchins, who comes in to help him. McQueen goes over the back, slaps it away, and gets the loose ball. Brings it down court after the turnover for the Flashes. Goes to Schmidt on the left wing, down in the corner to Kataska. He'll dribble it back out. Goes inside to Sutter. His little turnaround jumper off the back of the iron. Almost gets a bounce. Little Slater at 5'8" inside gets a rebound for the Tigers. He'll dribble it down court. 31-29. Sawyer on top by 2. On the wing to Hutchins. Hutchins is going to pop a 3. It's way short, but underneath is Olsen for the rebound, and he's fouled by Sutter. He came slashing in from the backside, the weak side, and got that rebound, and Sutter was totally surprised, I think. Carl picks up his second foul, and Olsen will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Yeah, Trenton does a lot of nice slashing and cutting to the basket. They're always making movement towards the basket, trying to advance the ball. kind of different from what you'd think of a little team. You'd think they'd line up behind that three-point line and throw it up, but they want to get the layup. They're working all the time for a layup.
Exactly. He makes the first one. You hit it right on the head. I expected them to be outside shooters. Second one by Olson is also good, and we're tied once again at 31 with 5:11 to play in the third, and I think we're going to have a good one here. Here comes Kataska, right side, out front, still dribbling. Slater has him on the wing. He pulls up his dribble, comes out front to McQueen. McQueen guarded by Ryder, goes to the dribble, now tries to move into the paint and is bumped in a blocking call on Ryder. Ryder picks up his second personal foul, and that'll be the team's third. Getting ready to come in now is number 24, James Zimmerman, a 5'5" sophomore. He comes in replacing Ryder. Inbounds pass, McQueen to Matt Johnson on the left side. Johnson above his head, looking inside, instead goes out front to Kataska. Kataska back to Johnson on the wing. Johnson gets a pick, goes down three-point range and pops.
There's the thing that they need. Sawyer needs him to get warmed up, and that's really creates a lot of things to happen.
34-31, Sawyer on top. Slater out front to Olson on the right side. Out front they go to Zimmerman. Zimmerman dribbles, then goes to Slater left side out front, down to Olson on the wing. Olson inside for Hutchins is popped away. Kataska comes up with a loose ball. He has it almost stripped, then kicks it off his leg, but there's a foul before that on Olson. Olson reached in. There could have been a number of fouls all the way up the court, don't you think?
It seems like the game, they get a little pushing, shove it, and all of a sudden we'll get something kind of away, and then they'll call that one, and they let some other things go, but I guess all evens out in the end, Tony.
Yeah,
that's what they tell me.
That's what they say. 34-31, Sawyer with the ball. They're on top by three. McQueen out front on the dribble to the left side, out front to the big guy, Sutter. Sutter works it to Kataska. He bounced pass inside for Schmidt. Schmidt turnaround jumper, in and out, no good. Rebound comes down to Schmidt. He lays it up on the left side. It's good.
Good movement there. Kept the ball alive between Schmidt and Sutter and got the basket.
36-31. Sawyer has moved out to a 5-point lead, and we have a timeout here with the score of 36-31. Sawyer on top. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Farmers, avoid the spring seed rush and lock in the best price of the season with the...
I'm sure that's been a fun one to work with. Going up and down the court and the things that have been happening. I would think that would have been fun and entertaining to watch.
Certainly is. They've been a fun team to watch. I've only seen them about 3 times this year, but they didn't play their best the first time I was there, but they played a lot better the second and third time, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think the thing about it that people don't even realize is the defense that they play.
One thing, the addition of Sutter in there has helped them control the boards a little bit better.
They've done a better job when Carl got in the game in the second quarter and, really controlling the boards, pulling them down, getting some second chances down on the offensive end, and that's what every coach wants. If you're going to miss, I want somebody cleaning it up and getting it back up on the glass. And the last example was he kept it alive, and Neal was able to pick it up, and Schmidt knocks it down and stretches this lead out to 5 points.
And that's what we're talking about, cleaning up, and that's what they were doing while we were talking here. They had to clean up the floor. Here comes Slater. Justin goes to the right wing. Jumper up by Slater from 14, and it's good. That's his 6th point, and it's 36-33. They want to get him more involved in the offense. I think that's what the timeout was about. Now here's the flashes. McQueen out front. Off to Johnson on the right side. We've got a push inside, and it'll go against the Tigers.
Number 44.
44.
Haven't seen that in a long time. Tony, a kid raised his hand for us.
Yep, that's right. We haven't seen that. They didn't want him to do that because it singled him out, In our day, they did that. Yeah. There's many times that was singled out. There's Matt Johnson outside, three-pointer left side. Slater comes down with a rebound. The little point guard brings it down court for Trenton on the right side, moves to the paint, tries to move inside, gets cut off, gives it off to Olson. Underneath to a cutting Hutchins from the weak side, and he lays it up and in, and suddenly it's 36-35. Sawyer on top by 1. Matt Johnson, right side sideline, on the dribble, guarded by Olson, gets a pick from Schmidt, drops it down to Schmidt as he cut to the basket. He lays it up. It's no good, but he is fouled.
Nice pick and roll. It's just a standard basketball play. One of the first things you learn when you roll the ball out as a 5th grader, 6th grader, as a screen and roll, and Sawyer ran it to perfection that time.
That'll be Olson's 3rd foul and the 16th foul on the Tigers. At the line is Schmidt. Neil Schmidt sinks that one, and he has 17 points on the evening. second game tonight will feature Glenburn from District 15. Schmidt gets the second one. They'll be taking on Tioga. 38-35. Sawyer jumps back out to a 3-point lead with 2:50 left in the third. Zimmerman off to Olson on the left side. Underneath they go for intended for Russell, but Zimmerman has to save it. Then he tries to throw it in, and it's bounced off of one of the Sawyer players and out of bounds. So taking it out will be Hutchins on the baseline. Here we go. Inbounds pass to Olson. He makes a move inside, and he's fouled as he starts to go up. Olson tried to move into the paint. He was fronted and backed, and 35 getting the foul is Eric Kataska.
And that's a matchup that Trenton probably wants to take some advantage of. They can get Kataska matched up down in the post against some of these guys. There's not quite the leaper that the other guards are.
Olson gets ready for his free throw. Makes that. He's 5 for 5 from the free throw line so far in this contest, Jeff.
Yeah, nice. He's got a real nice shot, real nice release.
And he makes the second one. 6 for 6, and that makes the score 38-37. Here comes Kataska against a little pressure being applied by Slater. Works it on the left side to McQueen. McQueen trying to get around Zimmerman on the dribble. Can't do it. Pulls up his dribble. Has it slapped away, but Johnson runs it down out front. Now they work it to Kataska on the right wing. Kataska, high post to Zimmerman, or excuse me, Schmidt. Schmidt to Johnson. Johnson inside Sutter. Turnaround move by Sutter and a little hook jump
nice
shot.
Nice little half hook. Was really nice shot. Good movement that time. They had some pick set down in there and finally cleared one guy through.
40-37. Sawyer back on top by 3. Slater tries to roll into the paint. Gives off to Olson instead. Now down to Russell. His jump shot from 12 is good. Russell with 11. 40-39. 1:47 left to play. Kataska having trouble. Gets it off to Johnson on the left side. He looks inside, says, nah, I'm going to shoot it. And he pops a 3.
That's got to come up and get in his face. You just can't let him stand there because he'll knock him down.
43-39. 4-point lead for Sawyer. They work it down to Russell. Russell inside to Hutchins. He has trouble controlling the ball. Loses it as he moves into the paint. Johnson comes up with a loose ball. Gives it off to Kataska. Kataska brings it across midcourt. Comes left to McQueen. McQueen looks inside, then goes to the dribble. Drops it down low to Schmidt on the baseline. His turn move is good as he lays it up, or a little jump shot from about 4 feet.
Yeah, nice move down there. They tried to double team him, and he just rolled away from the double team.
45-39, 6-point lead. Here's Zimmerman into the paint, dishes off down to Russell. His jumper no good from the left side, and a foul by Zimmerman after the miss on the rebound, and it's Matt Johnson. We'll walk to, no, he won't go. That was a player control foul. So
we'll get next one. We'll be shooting. Oh no, they're gonna. That's on.
Oh, they are gonna shoot it. Okay, they acted like they were gonna make him take it out. I was gonna say we'll walk to the other end, but I assumed that they were calling it a player control foul. But I didn't see how they could. It was on the rebound.
Then you get Dallas Schmidt in now to give Carl Sutter a blow, and Carl's had a one whale of a game here so far.
Yes, and he gets greeted quite warmly by Coach Brian Kramer. At the line, Johnson, who is in double figures, hits the free throw. He has 11 now after a slow start, 2 in the first and 2 in the second quarter. He has 11 in the game now after those 2 big threes and the free throw here. Gets ready for his second, and that one is also good. Give him 12, and Sawyer's stretched it out to 8 at 47-39. We're under a minute in the third. Slater, top of the key, comes to Zimmerman on the right wing. He pulls to the free throw line. His jumper is up, and he gets the bounce. So Zimmerman gets his first basket of the night, 47-41. 34 seconds left. Here comes Kataska on the dribble, top of the key. Off on the wing to McQueen, the left side. McQueen underneath for Schmidt. Schmidt makes a good spin move from left to right and lays it up. Schmidt with 21 now. Slater down in the corner to Zimmerman. He gets the 3 and is fouled. Zimmerman with 5 will go to the line to shoot 1. That makes the score 49-44. He'll have a chance to cut it to 4. Just when we thought that Sawyer was going to open it up and take control, here comes a 5'5" guard from the right corner who pops a 3.
And they just lost track of him, and then David McQueen tried to make up some ground and caught him as he was shooting the three-pointer.
Zimmerman gets ready for the free throw. He puts it up. He looks like he labors when he shoots. And he misses the free throw.
We're going to the other end. Number 30.
Olsen picks
Brian
up his
Olsen.
fourth.
Yeah, his fourth ball. So
Rider will come in replacing Olsen immediately, and they don't want to lose him because he's been the man that's been playing most of the defense on Matt Johnson, and he's held him to 12 so far in the game.
yeah, he's done a pretty good job on that defensive end, and just a point there where some of those kids sometimes just don't know when to pull back. And Neil had the position Schmidt, and he should have just let him have the free throw or the rebound.
12 in the first half for Neil Schmidt. 11 here in the second half. Now make that 12. He's got 24 points in this game so far. 44-51. 51 Sawyer. Here's Zimmerman. Zimmerman bounce pass off to Slater. He hits the right baseline. Jumper up by Slater is good, and we have 3 seconds left. 51-46. Long half-court pass. Or shot by Kataska almost goes in. Just goes off the back of the rim.
That one would have counted too, Tony.
Yeah, it certainly would have. He got it off. We'll be back in 1 minute with the start of the final quarter here from Region 8 at the Dome.
United Community Bank of Burlington, with branches in Drake and Butte, is one of the fastest-growing banks.
Technicians. Call for an appointment, 839-7112, 839-7112. Ellie's Radiator Repair and Alignment next to Great Plains Lumber on 27th Street Southeast.
We're ready to start the final period. The score 51-46. Sawyer on top by 5 after being down by 1 at halftime. And the final 8 minutes, Sawyer will start on offense. Schmidt gets ready to inbound, finds Johnson at the right sideline in their own zone. Off to Johnson. He's going to pop a 3 from the corner. It's no good. Rebound comes down to Slater. Slater on the run for the Tigers. Right down the court. 1-on-4. Takes it to the basket. Lays it up. No good. Hutchinson inside, and he's going to be called for over the back as he was going for the rebound. Hutchins gets his 3rd foul, and that'll be the team's 9th. We'll go to the other end and shoot a 1-and-1.
There's one of the mistakes young kid makes. He's 1-on-4. Should have pulled that ball back out. Had nobody there to help him rebound, even if when he did miss it. And Sutter's back in the ball game now in the fourth quarter.
Sutter was trying to get off the free throw line.
I don't think he wants to shoot that one. They were trying to switch spots.
That was kind of funny. When he got caught, he didn't like that. He gets up there. He puts it up. Hey, why not? Geez, sunk it. Just nothing but net. That gives him 3 in the game, along with about 8 rebounds and a steal, I think.
That's good. And one of the big things we're going to see here the next fall, Tony, that Sawyer will be shooting 2 every time they go to the line.
And Sutter gets the second one. That makes it 53-46. Sawyer in control right now with 7:40 left to play. Here's Slater down to the right baseline. Takes it to the hoop. Block shot by Johnson. Out front, Hutchins has it. He goes in, lays it up. It's no good, but he's fouled inside.
And that's going to be 4 on Neil Schmidt, Tony. He kind of got inside of him. That's a place where you just, with 3 falls, let him go. Now, Neil played, though, the whole 3rd quarter with those 3s, so.
Yeah, and then Brian stands up and says, well, now they say that's, well, now they've changed it to 4. I was going to say, we've got him with 4.
Yeah. They stood up, and Brian just told him he's got 4, and he's got to play it smart.
Yep, Hutchins misses. For a guy who's averaging 16, almost 17 points a game, this guy does not shoot free throws well. That is his 4th miss this evening. Gets ready for his 2nd. It is no good. It is a real brick, and McQueen comes down with that rebound. McQueen trapped there by 3 guys, goes to the dribble, then moves it down court to Johnson. Johnson will try and bring it across the timeline. On the pass, he does to Kataska on the left side. He moves into the glass, lays it up. It's good.
Good slash there. Kataska just broke down the court. Nobody found him. Got the ball and got moving to the basket.
Sawyer, 55-46, a 9-point lead there, biggest of the night. Hutchins inside, jump stop, lays it up. It's good as he gets around Schmidt, and he has Schmidt at the disadvantage there, and he knows that Schmidt cannot commit that 5th foul. Here comes Kataska. Down the right side, or left side. Now he goes over to Johnson. Outside right. Out front to McQueen. They rotate it to Kataska on the left wing. Kataska underneath to a cutting Johnson. Turnaround jumper left. Baseline. It's good. But do we have a foul first? Yes, they say it's good. And the foul will be on
David McQueen. They picked him up pushing on the rebound, but Johnson makes that, and I watched him a couple times this year, and he hit that thing about 4 times against Craig Irwin's Ryan Lions up in the dome, up in the Lions den, and Irwin says, I can't stop it. There's no way. And when he gets hot with that shot, it goes down.
57-48, a 9-point lead for the Flashes will be back in 30.
A couple transfers down from the Upham area, transferred into the Glenburn School District, and really solidified that team and made them a contender this year. And they're fun to watch, hard to match up with. They'll put the ball in the air and put it through the hoop.
Here comes Trenton on the offense. Slater out front, wants someone out on the right wing, then bounce passes to Hutchison at the free throw line. His turnaround jumper is no good, but he's fouled, and McQueen picks up his fourth.
That's 4 on McQueen, and a little bit of foul trouble now starting to collect on Sawyer's sidelines. They've got 2 players standing with 4 fouls and 1 with 3.
Well, I guess if you're going to put a guy at the foul line, it'll be Hutchins I'd want. He hasn't hit one yet.
Yeah, for a guy that's averaging 17 points a game, he sure doesn't shoot them very well from there.
His shot is short this time. He's been long the rest of the time, so he's 0 for 5 from the free throw line. Second one up, no good. A rebound comes down, and we've got a jump ball right away as Russell ties up Big Dallas Schmidt. And the possession arrow is in favor of the Tigers, who are down by 9.
Not such a bad deal, though, the jump ball. That turns the possession arrow around for you, so you always want that possession arrow late in the game.
Ryder has it out front, works it right side to Zimmerman. Zimmerman back to Ryder. He's going to try a 3. It's good.
2. He was on the line, Tony.
They got him for 2. Okay.
Right away, emphatically over here saying he was on the line.
57-50 the score right now. Here's McQueen under pressure, getting it across midcourt, trap. Then gets it off to Johnson. Johnson trapped down low. It goes to Della Schmidt. He lays it up. No good. Sutter with a rebound. Put back. No good. Sutter again. He goes up and he's fouled.
Yep. Good. Keeping the ball alive. And they made the switch at the timeout at the 6-minute mark. They got Neal out to save him for the rest of the end of the game. Put in Dallas. And both Dallas and Sutter make real fine plays down there underneath the basket.
I'll tell you what. This Sutter kid has saved him tonight. Rebounding down there. Had some guys in foul trouble and for whatever reason out of the game. He puts up his 3rd free throw, misses that one. He's 2 for 3 at the line now. The score remains 57-50. We have 6 minutes left to play. 54 coming in Ledoux for the Tigers, replacing Russell.
They're showing 50 on the official one.
Here comes the second one by Sutter. Skips across the iron and falls off. Ledoux with a rebound off to Slater. Slater will bring it down for the Tigers. Left side, gets around his man, pulls up. Jumper's a little strong. Rebound down to Sutter. Sutter's outlet pass tipped as it leaves his hand and stolen by the Tigers. Off to Ryder. Ryder's going to put up a 3. It's a little long. Hits the back of the rim or glass. Top of the bankboard, and it'll be out of bounds to Sawyer. 57-50. Johnson will take it out. Johnson trying to find someone to get it into. He does to Dallas Schmidt, and he is fouled right away by Hutchins. Hutchins picks up his 4th.
I think that's one where the referee anticipated he was going to hit him a lot harder than he did, and he kind of slid by him and got the foul call. Big break for Sawyer there.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those. It was what you call a ticky-tacky foul.
I think that's the one where you blow the whistle and go, whoops, I anticipated he was going to hit him a lot harder.
And we'll have to make that one up later. Shot up by Dallas, skips off the rim.
And Sawyer right now has got to make some free throws. They can't go to this line and with the clock not running and get some points.
He'll have a second. 57-50. 5:38 left to play in the game. Shot up in this one is good. He gets his first point of the night. 58-50. Here comes Slater, top of the key. Slater, right side Ryder. Ryder into Hutchins, into the paint, spin move, off the glass, too strong. Who's there for the rebound? Sutter.
Sutter's got a bundle of them tonight.
Yep, he's got about 8 or 9 now. They give it off to Kataska. Kataska will bring it down for Sawyer. To McQueen on the left wing. He looks inside, instead goes out front to Johnson. Now they go to Kataska on the right wing. He tries to get around Ryder, pulls up a 10, jump shot good.
Nice move by Kataska to get in the middle, squared up and got the shot off.
8 points for Eric.
And that's the biggest lead of the night, Tony, for Sawyer, 10 points.
60-50 right now. Hutchins on the right wing, out front to Ryder. Now they find Zimmerman on the left wing as they rotate it around the horn. He's going to try a 3. It bounces off the iron. Johnson down with a rebound. Off to Kataska. He'll bring it down for Sawyer. 4:40 left to play. Sawyer in control by 10 right now on the wing, left side to McQueen. McQueen out front to Johnson. Johnson above his head, looking for someone inside, can't find him. And they call him for 5 seconds, huh? Or, yeah, call him for 5 seconds.
Yeah. started it right away, and he needed to get rid of it. And they need to just run their offense and get things moving right now.
Olson comes in, and he replaces Hutchins for the Tigers. Slater to Zimmerman. Zimmerman out front to Olson. They rotate it to Ryder on the left wing now. Ryder above his head out front to Slater. Slater dribbles in, almost loses the ball, gives it back out to Olson. Right side, he goes to the baseline. Jumper up, no good. Tipped out of bounds, and it'll be out of bounds to Sawyer as it goes off of one of the Tigers as they were fighting for that rebound inside. The Trenton Tigers going to apply a full-court press here.
We got Neil Schmidt coming back into the game.
Neil Schmidt coming in with 4:08 remaining. He'll replace Della Schmidt.
It's a nice blow for him and kept him in the game. Now, he's got to come in and just play like can't worry about those 4 fouls. He's just got to go in and play now for the next 4 minutes.
Sawyer up by 10. Schmidt inbounds to Kotaska. Kotaska on the dribble, starts to bring it down court, gets to the midcourt line. Ryder on him, moves to the right, goes on the wing to Johnson. Johnson guarded by Slater. Pulls up, three-pointer. It's no good. A rebound run down out front by Kotaska. Kotaska on the left side dishes out to McQueen. A hand back to Kotaska as he comes out front on the dribble. Bounce pass on the right wing to Johnson. Johnson to Sutter. Sutter out front, top of the key, guarded by Ledoux. Goes to Kotaska. He's going to try an 18-footer. It's short. Tipped around. Johnson gets it. We've got a pushing foul inside on the rebound, and it'll be on Matt Johnson.
A little bit impatient there on the part of Sawyer. Let's look for some better shots, take some time off the clock.
60-50 the score, 3:33 left to play, and a timeout call by Trenton. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Tony's Thrifty Cut. The best place to get your hair done is now the best place to tan and get your nails done. Tony's just purchased the best tanning beds in the business from Wolf, and they're offering 1 month of unlimited.
That's put up, and nobody's put it in the hole yet, so, but I think got to get some patience on the Sawyer end. They don't have to force those three-pointers, force those long shots, get some good shots, keep the offensive moving, and just get some things to happen.
Justin Slater will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. He has 8 points in the game. He's 2 for 2 from the free throw line so far this evening. Puts the shot up. It's good. He's a good-looking little ball player.
Yeah, he is, and he's got a real nice shot up there, Tony.
Slater gets ready for his second. That makes the score 60-51. Now make it 60-52, and Slater's in double figures with 10. Full court pressure being applied. Kotaska gets it off to Johnson. Down court to Sutter. Sutter just slows it up and says, we'll get into our offense right here. Discretion being the better part of valor on his part. There's McQueen on the left wing, guarded by Zimmerman. Out front to Johnson. We've got a foul inside as they were jockeying for position.
3-0. That's Brian Olson.
Yep, that'll be his 5th. Olson will have to come out of the game. They've got it. Yeah, now they've got it for 5. Okay.
That's what I thought.
And while we wait to see who the coach is going to put in, Ryder will come bounding in now to replace Olson. So on the floor for the Tigers, Hutchins, Slater, Zimmerman, Ryder, and Russell. McQueen, Sutter, Johnson, Schmidt, and Kotaska for Sawyer. Schmidt at the line makes the free throw. He's perfect from the line tonight, 6 for 6. He'll have one more. This time he misses. I shouldn't have said that. It's tipped out front, though, and Schmidt gets the rebound, puts it up as he moves into the paint, and scores.
Matt Johnson kept that ball alive off the rebound, and Schmidt picked it up loose and got into the paint and scored.
11-point lead at 63-52. Slater out front, rolls to the right side. Schmidt picks him up. He goes to the baseline, and he steps on the inline, they say. And a turnover on the part.
Trenton not very patient, trying to make too many things happen, I think, right now.
We're down to 3 minutes. Inbound, Kotaska gets it. Takes a couple of dribbles, then gives off to Schmidt. Schmidt dribbles it across midcourt. He's going to take it right down to the left side, pulls it back out front to Kotaska. Might as well use some time off that clock. Kotaska gives it to McQueen. McQueen out front to Johnson. Johnson looks to the right side, goes to the dribble, into the paint, jump stop, jumper up by Johnson's good. Johnson coming on strong here in the second half with 16 points in total for the game. Here is Hutchins, right side jumper, three-point range. Russell down with a rebound, goes back up, and he's fouled. They'll get Sutter for the foul. Sutter on the front side, and Schmidt coming in from the backside blacked the shot.
Collective sigh of relief across the way there in the Sawyer fans when that whistle was blown and Schmidt was in the air.
Sutter's got him to give away. That's only his third. 65-52, a 13-point lead. Hutchins throws up one and finally makes a free throw tonight.
That's the quickest one he threw up, though, Tony. I don't think he's thinking about it right now.
He gets ready for his second. It is up, and it's also good. Where was he earlier? Here we go. Pressure, full court being applied by the Tigers into Johnson. Johnson gives it back to Schmidt. Schmidt up court to Kataska. He's going to dribble across midcourt. Gets it off to Johnson. Johnson takes it down the right side. And we've got a foul by Rider down there as Johnson went to the baseline. That was not an over and back. He had his pivot foot on this side.
He was fine over here. Good call. He can move back and forth as long as he leaves his pivot foot on the one side.
Yeah, all the fans from Trenton went a little ballistic on that one. They thought he should have been called for an over on the back, but his pivot foot stayed on the one side. There's Johnson's free throw after the foul up. It's no good. He gets ready for the second. 65-54, make it 66-54. And a 12-point lead for Sawyer with just 2:11 left to play. Slater, three-pointer, left side. It's off the front of the iron. Sutter down with another big rebound, and he's tied up.
It's going to go possession Sawyer, though, but he's got to get up and protect that ball a little bit better. Don't bring it down and let him grab at it.
Right, he brought it down into the small guys. He could have held it above his head and been just fine, but that's a lack of playing experience probably on his part at that point. But he's done a great job otherwise tonight. Possession arrow. Now they work it across the timeline. Johnson has it. He takes his dribble up at the top of the key, and then they dish it off to McQueen, to Kataska. Now on the right side to Johnson, out front to McQueen, and he's fouled by Hutchins right away. And for Hutchins, that will be foul number 5, and he can take a seat for the night.
Yeah, that's starting to catch up on him. Well, they've only got him for 4 up on the board.
Really?
Yeah. So
how many do you have him for, Joey? How many do you have him for?
2 shots.
Hutchins. No, Hutchins on the foul. You got him for... Okay, Joey's got him for 4. Joey's right.
McQueen knocked down the first one, Tony. So
I know. I saw it. McQueen has 8 points in the game. He is ready for his second. And this one is no good. A rebound down to Hutchins. Hutchins, who I thought was on the bench with 5 fouls, has only 4. Takes it right down the court into the paint, lays it up, no good. A rebound. Johnson tips it away from Russell. Gets a rebound down court to McQueen, and man, does Zimmerman hammer him as he was just about to catch the pass. So Zimmerman picks up the foul. And that'll be the 11th team foul.
Trenton's going to call a timeout.
Yep, Trenton is going to call a timeout with 1:31 left to play, and Sawyer up by 13 at 67-54. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Spring is in the air, and that means just one.
We've got 1:31 left in this one. We'll wrap up the scoring rather quickly and just kick it right down to Scott down there so he can get you tuned in for that Minot Magician Mandan game coming up for the championship. Winner comes in as a #1 seed in the state tournament next week, held right here at the Dome on Minot State University campus. McQueen at the line after being knocked down by Zimmerman, who picked up his second foul. Puts the free throw up, hits the front rim, bounces to the glass and off. McQueen gets ready for his second. This one he makes. That makes it 68-54, a 14-point lead for Sawyer. Justin Slater pulls up on the left wing, drops it underneath for Russell. He's off the glass. It's good. Russell now with 10 points in the game, makes it 68-56. Johnson breaking the press for the Flashers, gets it across midcourt, finds Neil Schmidt out front on the right. He takes the dribble down to the wing and then backs it out. Comes out front to Johnson. There's a running time off the clock. We're down to about a minute. A pass down low intended for Schmidt, picked off by Russell. Russell dribbles down court into the paint, lays it up. It's good. He's fouled. Now, I want to talk to you about that pass. That was an ill-advised pass. There's no reason to try and work the ball down low. You've got a 14-point lead at that point.
You had a minute to go, and Brian Kramer called the timeout immediately down here when action quit, and that's what he's going to tell him. We don't need that pass anymore, boys. That one's over with.
68-58. We have 54 seconds left. and Sawyer on top by 10. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Markets change. Technology changes. Government programs change. How will it all affect you? At Farm Credit Services, we understand the challenges you're facing. Our 80 years of experience has helped us develop a wide range of unique financial products and services that you can use to benefit from the changes in farming.
At the heart of a growing America.
To see how we can
Committed that foul after the basket or on the basket, and going to the line will be Russell. Russell, who has 11 in the game, will have his chance here to make it 12 and cut the lead to single digits at 9. The score now 68-58. Sawyer on top by 10. Shot up by Russell, in and out, no good. Rebound down to Johnson. Johnson is fouled by Hutchinson. I know that's his 5th.
Yeah, now he's done. He's coming right over here for you, Tony. He knows he's done too.
He's high-fiving me now.
We got the correct call that time, Tony.
Oh, well, here comes Slater into the game. Well, you know, you can't always be right. That's
right.
The best part about it.
These are big free throws, Tony. He knocks both these down. That makes it a 4-possession game in 50 seconds. Makes it just a little bit tougher for him, even with the three-pointer.
Matt Johnson has had a terrific second half. He has... he has 14 points in the second half now as he makes a first free throw. He'll be going for his 15th here. Shot up, and it is good. 15 points, 19 total in the game for Johnson right now. 70-58. Slater dribbles to the right side. Three-point jumper up off the front of the iron. Johnson gets it right down into his waist and cradles the ball, then brings it down court on the dribble. Across midcourt, he's trapped, and he's fouled. Slater's going to be called on the reach in there. Justin Slater picks up the foul, and Matt Johnson will have a chance to go over 20. We already have one man over 20, Neil Schmidt. He's done a terrific job from the offensive end, and I think if you got a defensive player, at least rebounding-wise, it has to be old Sutter. He came in off the bench.
I would say so, Tony. He had a great game.
Johnson gets the free throw.
He's going to get Chad Schlosser back in for Carl Sutter, who had a whale of a game rebounding and defensively for the Sawyer Flashes tonight.
Yep, he gets high-fived by his coaches. Johnson at the line, puts up the second one. It is good. Give Johnson 21 points, and coming into the game, replacing McQueen now is number 23, Brian Van Winkle. Brian Van Winkle.
Well, I think we'll see the whole bench cleared now for get all those kids in there for a little bit of action in the region tournament.
They're up by 14. Sawyer is there. Zimmerman, three-pointer high off the glass. A rebound down to Russell. He puts it back up and in. Brad Russell gets 2. Inbounds pass to Johnson. Johnson goes cross court to Schmidt. Schmidt on the dribble gets fouled by Slater. A nice gentlemanly foul. Wants to stop the clock. He just kind of bumps him and holds him up so he doesn't fall down.
Yeah, that's one of them where it's intentional, but they don't call it because we know they're going to do it. You got Aaron Feist and Chris Van Winkle now into the game. And Josh Hampus is going to check into the game as soon as Neil Schmidt finishes free throws.
72-60, and as you said, Neil Schmidt at the line. So Sawyer will move on to to play the winner of the Tioga game against Glenburn. Schmidt's shot is short. He was powering right along, and he's missed his last 2 free throws. He doesn't need the points. He's already got 24. 25.
Josh Atkinson checks in now as a freshman for the Sawyer Flashes, 6'2", 9th grader out of Sawyer.
And there's 17 seconds left. I think Brian Kramer had his team well prepared for this game today. They were a little rusty in the early going, but once they got into it, they were fine. There's Slater out front, a three-pointer. That makes it 73-62. Inbounds, Van Winkle gets it cross court. Now down court, they go to Schlosser. Schlosser works it underneath to the young man, Offenson, and he gets 2 on the lay-in. And that's the end of the game, and the final score is 75-62. We will be right back to wrap up the scoring after this 60-second break, and then we'll kick it to Scott down in Bismarck. So stand by, Scott. We're only going to keep it here for about a minute and a half after we get it back.
With springtime on its way, you need to get your farm equipment ready for the work ahead. At Farmers Union Oil in West Hope, they have farm supplies, batteries, quality Cenex gasoline and oil products, and they have a mechanic on hand for shop work. Farmers Union Oil in West Hope accepts major credit cards, and the card troll is open 24 hours. And for tasty subs, pizza, and friendly atmosphere, stop by the center.
They were led by Neil Schmitz, 28 points. Matt Johnson had the 21. Dave McQueen, 9. And then we had Eric Kotaska with 6. Carl Sutter with 4, and a great game by the man off the bench, rebounding. We had 2 points for Josh Offenson, and then 1 point for Della Schmidt.
Chad Schlosser also had 2 points, Tony.
Okay, and yeah, Chad Schlosser had the 2. Then we'll go down for the Tigers from Trenton, 19 points for Brandon Russell, 12 points for Chad Hutchins. Brian Olson had 8 points, 13 points for Justin Slater. Adam Ryder had 5, as did James Zimmerman, and John Ledoux had 1. And the final score, once again, 75-62. That's it from the Dome. We're going to go down and find out how Minot High does against Mandan in the championship of the WD.